Brazilian football, we need to have a very, very serious conversation. I think the conversation is now more than ever needed. I just got done watching the Morocco game. Yeah, well, actually, I watched it last night, and Morocco versus Brazil game, and I watched it a second time just to make sure I wasn't wrong about anything. But I really want to talk about this game and why, particularly between the Brazil game, and why Brazil are not a nation that they used to be. A and B, based off the way they performed yesterday, they might not even make it past round of 16. If you see my reaction, if you see my video, my prediction for Brazil was that they get to the quarterfinals, they get knocked out by England. Now, I think there's several issues with Brazil, and I think the first issue comes in from the fact of system football has killed individuality. And I think this is evident in all nations. But more specifically Brazil, it's so evident to me. The lack of individuality across the field from Brazil is alarming, and it's almost poetic that Neymar is still the best player at this point in time. Now, there's nothing wrong with having an absolute legend like Neymar being the best player. But when you look at that, right, there's several issues with that because it's not necessarily Neymar's the best player out of a very good bunch. Like, for example, like how Argentina is, how Messi still is the best player of Argentina when everyone's on it. That's because Argentina have great players. Their strikers are elite. Julian Alvarez, Lautaro Martinez. They have solid midfielders that when they're on, those midfielders they're incredible. Enzo Fernandez and Alexis McAllister, just to name a few. Their goalkeeper is very solid for an international tournament and very solid in general. I think people, I think FIFA has really corrupted people's minds. Like, Amy Martinez was good in 2022. The best keeper in 2023, maybe the best keeper, wouldn't go that far. But I could understand. It's 2023, by the way. That was just a weak year for goalkeepers, if you guys remember. It was just a weaker year for the goalkeepers. But that's besides the issue. My point is, Emi Martinez is a very good goalkeeper. Christian Mera and Lisandro Martinez are very solid Premier League centre backs. They're actually very decent Premier League centre backs. My point is, they're not in that Argentina setup. They're not good. Messi's not great because of the group is terrible. Versus for Neymar is great in a Brazil team for a team that's terrible. Brazil as a whole are terrible. Vinicius Junior, as of recent, only now has scored his like fourth goal for Brazil. Fourth goal for Brazil, I'm pretty sure. It's either that for World Cups or something separate, I saw. But like him performing in a Brazil shirt, it's never been the situation. And I would like to make a point of it's less about goal and assist, right? It's because his performance as a whole has never been good. Like I saw somebody on Instagram compare Vini to Ronaldinho in whatever competition. Ronaldinho provided a lot more stuff besides goals than Vinicius Junior did. He attracted someone that was a chance creator, someone that could create something out of nothing, someone that wasn't dependent upon a system. Ronaldinho is the ultimate embodiment of that. Now, I will say this, right? I do have a belief that systems in terms of football, players should never have to rely on a system. A player that has to rely on a system is not objectively a good player. However, on the contrary, I cannot look at that and say, okay, let's just say if you're going up against a system that's completely designed to neutralize you, and when you're going in with no system, no plan, or whatever, you're just trying to figure it out. The person with the plan is gonna win over someone that doesn't even know what they're facing. That's why I say system football has killed for individuality in terms of players. But that's particularly specific in Brazil. In that first half, I do not know how Brazil are trying to play out. I have no clue. I have no idea. Every single time they go to the midfield, they're absolutely overwhelmed by Morocco. Every single time they go wide to Vinicius Junior Rafinha. Rafinha yesterday, by the way, had no, not even yesterday. Earlier today, had a poor game, absolutely poor. And I really think in terms of Rafinha is a good example of this. Rafinha is a great player. He's a goal assist, but he's more of a systematic player than he is a player that individually on his own can do something out of nothing. He's very much transitional. He's very much final third. And he's less about dribbling and more about how do I get that goal or assist. And I'm not saying that's not a good approach. I'm not saying certain players that can dribble like crazy, like Lamine Yamal or Vinicius Junior, are more valuable than him. But in situations like that where you need to step out of your system, Rafinha really, really struggles. And I really am very concerned for Brazil, number one. I really like Brazil. I want them to do well, but just from the way they're playing, man, I can't look at it and say this is a Brazil team that can go anywhere. Their players are very good. Bruno Guimaraes was great yesterday. Bruno Guimaraes is a great midfielder in general. Let's just call it what it is. But the way Casemiro was exposed yesterday was just alarming. And if you're gonna play Casemiro, I think you have to play Joelinton. I think you can't play Paqueta anymore in the midfield with Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes. I think you need a Joelinton. If you're gonna play a system where you have Casemiro at the heart, you have to have someone that can pass next to him. And you have to have also someone that's more of a runner. I think that's why Joelinton will be very crucial for this Brazil team. More specifically, I think the reintroduction of Neymar will be also very, very important. But then it's a question of how do you do it. I think if you're gonna play Neymar, number one, I think if you're gonna play Neymar, you have to play Joelinton and Guimaraes. I don't think you can afford to have Neymar, Casemiro in the midfield. But that's all for Colin to play. A lot of points I want to talk about. Igor Thiago, what the performance? That was diabolical as shit. What the actual heck? Like, I have no words. I have no words, Igor Thiago. How this guy got 22 goals in the Premier League? He's making the Premier League look like a Farmers League, bro. Somebody saying Premier League text, bro. I'm low-key hearing it, man. Igor Thiago. Wow. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Brazil, right? I really think the solution is, do your best to get the best out of Neymar. And maybe the best out of Vini. I think you have to prioritize Neymar and Vini. Try to get the best out of the two of them. And even if it means sacrificing certain players, because I think as a whole, this Brazil team, I think yesterday's shown that they're not good enough to take it to other teams. Like Morocco, I'm also going to give credit to Morocco, actually. I forgot to give credit to Morocco. Morocco were excellent yesterday. Brahim Diaz was great. Ezra Sabari was an absolute, what a nice, took his goal quite well. And I think overall, the team played well. It was a well-coached game. They were a well-coached team. And they 100% deserved to get something from the Brazil game. Don't get it twisted. As bad as Brazil were yesterday, Morocco were excellent. And I think that's the most important thing when looking at a football match. When a team plays badly, how well can you take advantage of it? I think it's an underrated skill that goes on the radar. We often hear with big teams, right? When big teams and big nations lose, it's more, we talk about more how badly a big nation was. I don't think we give enough credit to how a team still has to take advantage of that. Bad teams can still win, by the way. Teams that perform bad can still win. Liverpool at the beginning of the 25-26 season took a full advantage of that. We played like shit for the majority of the season, for the majority part of the first few games, but no one took advantage of it. It's only when people started to take advantage of it that they start to get noticeable. So, big respects to Morocco. Obviously, me as an African, I don't want to see them do well. I would prefer not to, especially as an African that watched the African Cup of Nations, man. Guys, the AFCON, man. Yo, that's a separate video. But I will have to give them credit where credit is due. Brazil, you need to fix up differently. Their next match, I'm pretty sure, is either Haiti or Scotland. Scotland actually beat Haiti, which I predicted that they would. So Brazil really have to win that next game, because if they don't win that game, they are in genuine, real threat of not even getting out the groups properly in terms of getting first. Brazil have to qualify automatically, and they almost have to get first. Now, ultimately, it's not the end of the world. Losing to Morocco, drawing to Morocco was a decent result based on the way they played. But they have to fix up differently. Brazil's ultimate ambition is to win the World Cup. You can't win the World Cup with performances like that. But if you guys enjoyed the video, please like, share, subscribe. We will be back for the Germany review, because these first three groups, right, I didn't want to cover. Canada, Bosnia, all of them, I do not, especially USA. By the way, that USA result was a freak result. I don't know how they've done that. I didn't really want to cover. I want to cover this video, so we're going to be back for Germany versus Curacao, and I think there's another game at 9 today. Yo, all the games. Anyway, check in next one.